Hey everyone, so I'm making this video to kind of show the new setup for all the different faders on the light board with a request from Andre for some of the settings they want on for the worship team, as well as just to make it flow a little bit easier with the run sheet and easier to follow along. I've just reprogrammed and made a new label. So you can see at the top we have a little bit more than we used to. But it will now follow the order service. So pre-service, the countdown at 2 minutes, worship, promise thought, meet and greet, announcements and offering thought, video announcements, offering song, message, video for the message if they have one, final song, end of service, as well as baptism and altar. Switching is all the same. Everything's just basically, instead of always switching between, say, word and worship like we were before, now we just have different settings. So we have, right now we're on the pre-service setting, which is just empty stage, and at the 2 minute mark would be switching over to count number 2 at countdown, that's at less than 2 minutes. When the band rumbles in, so when you hear the band start, as well as if you're, please use the headset, you can hear the band talking on that, so you'll hear Jason or Cornell, whoever the music director is, instructing the band, making sure everyone's ready, so you can use that as your cue. Please wait until the music is starting before turning up the lights. There's been some weeks where the band has told me the lights were turned on before they even started. So yes, always make sure to not turn up number 3, worship, until the band has started playing the music and like they rumble in. But yeah, so worship is our standard look. Then we have promise thought, which kind of focuses the light a little bit more on the front and less on the back of the stage. Then we go to meet and greet, a little bit different on this one is it now blacks out the stage and just lights up so that the congregation can see each other. Offering thought is very similar to the promise thought one, isolating the lights on the stage, near the front of the stage. Obviously, video announcements will go up. That's the same. This is the only time in the on the board where we actually go backwards, so we'll go back up on number 6. Sorry about the focus. We'll go back on number 6 to go to the offering thought. And then we have offering song, message video, which we'd come back to message when you need it, the final song, and finally the end of service when the band has completed their music completely. So don't end it when they dismiss. End of service is when the music has officially stopped. And just another quick point, for most of the transitions, like for example, when we're on going between, say, worship and promise thought, when we have worship up, what you can do is always bring up the new one before bringing down the old one. Obviously, I know everyone knows to not bring down the one before putting it up, because obviously we will lose all of light and then it'll come back. But what I really want to advise against for most settings is not to just do one-handed switch like that, because when you do it, the stage gets dim and then dark again, which we don't really want. We want it to be more gradual and less noticeable by most people in the audience or congregation. The only time when you'd really do the quick switch is when you're going between announcements and video announcement, because that's a quick switch and it's basically turning all the lights off anyway. So that one we can do quick switches. But everything else, always try to bring the new fader up before bringing down the old one. And that's pretty much everything. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask. Oh, and finally we do have, on the end here, these ones won't be used as often, but we have baptism, which obviously is when somebody's getting baptized, and altar. So whenever somebody, like if the pastor asks for people to come down to the altar, we'll do that, and it'll light up the lights on the altar a lot more. that one is not isn't to be run by itself. Usually we'll mix that with either worship or with the message setting, because all that the altar setting does is just turn the main lights on at the front just to light it up a little bit more when we have people come up. Other than that, that's pretty much everything. One last thing. When you're using the iPod, remember to connect it to the headphone jack and run the service from there for the G-Plex, which I'll show you in a new video just because this isn't quite set up.